Well,
So,
once we kill it, then we're a big deal.
okay. With that, I am going to take a page of Flip's book and ask since Teak first. What do you remember of last session?
What I remember of last session, I just watched like the last 5 minutes of last session.
Oh, wait, you weren't there.
In preparation. Gotta come prepared, yo. And I remember some snakes that weren't from the usual, weren't from the forest, but they were there anyways. And also they were normally quite solitary, but they weren't. So we fought a couple of monsters in the middle of the forest, and there was some weird shit there that wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay. Hephe, what do you still remember?
Let's see. We left the necromancer's hut after distributing the loot and getting our mimic buddy, and then we went down the foggy path, and then we got separated. And Decorm just one-shot his thing. I don't think we
ended it.
I can't remember if we've met back up yet. And I had a vision. I did sending to my tribe elder, and basically there's a war going on over there, and it's related to a war that will be soon going on here that has yet to start. And I'm really upset by that. And the goal is to go get the Viscount, so that way we can unify this side against the flame that's coming. And then also get all the human nations to unify to go and, like, I don't know, fuck up fire elementals. I don't know, maybe long-term plan, go to the plane of fire and just douse their entire existence with water. I don't know. I'm down for anything at this point if it saves my people.
He's down to just go and create water on their entire existence.
Well, I know that's not possible, and I think if you do, like, it just destroys everything, having water on a fire plane. I think that's like one of those things that just destroys the entire plane. I'm not sure. I'm Hephe.
I'm not sure I'm Hephe.
That's fair.
But I can try to create water.
Does either Fluke or Ezra still want to add stuff to that, or is that about it?
The only thing Asri could possibly want to chime back in is that she achieved Lord Chonker's first of his kind, last of his realm with the help of Teak.
See, we got separated. We had some epic fighting. I had a null curse me with bad luck and then killed him before anyone noticed.
There were a lot of methods that were trying to whack me, and they didn't, like, whack me very well. I just kept shouting health.
Health.
I'll never just like, wow, just break a spear in front of you. Wow, that's really embarrassing. Stab it into the spear. That sucks. Okay, well, next, lose the dagger behind me. Blame you for this, and no one will ever know when you're dead.
You know what you did.
No one can ever know.
No one ever did.
With that, what I do want to add still is you did find each other again.
Okay.
At the end of the session, and you noticed when looking above you that though you're now in this thick fog in which you lost each other. When you look above you, you can see this kind of like swirling path going through the air, and when you follow that, you have a relatively safe travel.
Ooh, I like safe travel.
And
sorry, there's a path through the air?
Yeah, it's not a path you're walking on, but like a marker more.
Oh.
It's like because all of you can see into the ethereal plane right now, that you can see the path walking through there, going through there.
All right, that's cool.
And as you travel further, you notice that the path is quite like quite a thick road, as it were. But at some point, you notice it gets smaller and a lot more thin. And as you get to the point where it really gets thin, you notice in front of you a lake with these small wooden planks that help you cross it. But over the lake itself, the mist is a lot thinner, a lot less noticeable.
What do the planks look like? They're like
Not make a
human-made?
nature check.
Natural?
Nature check.
Yeah. On my way. Ooh.
With a 22, at first when you look at it, you just recognize it as some form of oak wood.
Mm-hmm.
But as you look into it further and you remember a couple of the classes you've had on the woods surrounding this area, you know about these living and walking trees that supposedly live in this area. And you can see like the markings through this that seems like this wood has been moving a lot more than you would expect of a tree.
Ah.
I want to check out the water and see if it's like spirit water at all.
Also, did the holy tree that we came upon earlier, was it also made of oak wood?
The? Oh, the
The
tree.
holy tree.
No, that wasn't an oak tree.
Okay.
And what did you want to, Hephe?
I want to see if it's like spirit water at all.
Okay. I think. How are you going to do that? What are you doing to check it out this way?
I'm gonna go look at it and see if there's like a bunch of growth around it, like more so like if it's like magical nature, like fey in nature,
Okay.
like if it has some, like
In that case, make a perception check.
perception check. Okay. 14.
You do notice that the water is unnaturally still, and as you look further into it, you notice that in a bit of the distance, you see some. You're not sure if it are creatures or something just drifting in the water, but you see something in the water.
I guess I'll speak out in Silva and I'll say, hello, you in the water? Can you understand me?
Make another perception check. And because what's the rest doing while he is doing this?
Since he's saying that in a language I don't understand, I think what I will do is just kind of sit back and wait and watch and get ready to see if anything cool happens, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, about the same.
Last time he suddenly started talking in this language, he was fucking communicating with a tree, and I just found out that these trees are alive. So I'm also just waiting back to see what happens.
Which I don't know that the trees are alive.
That's true.
I mean, it's not a dead tree, is it?
I mean, I would have told you guys like what I saw before.
I'll say, Teek, since you were closer by, you also make a perception check, and the other two make it with disadvantage, since you're sitting back a bit.
Oh.
+9. Wow.
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oof.
Oof.
Disadvantage didn't matter in the first place.
Is that a bug on my eye?
Fluke, for you, the moment he Hephe yells it out, you hear something by the side, and you quickly turn around to see a rabbit running away. The rest of you, Teek and Ezra, you do notice the figure as well when Hephe starts talking to it. Hephe, you notice like the vaguest of reaction on where you would assume to be the face, but it's slightly too far away to really say what kind of creature it is or what's standing there.
In the water.
And actually, with that, I also say that it either has a very strange shape, or it is standing on the water and something else is laying in the water.
And it looked like it understood me, or just like it heard something and was reacting to it.
Yeah, but from how you would know it, not actually roll a religion check.
Oh, okay. Don't hold your breath or anything, but okay.
Wait, the cleric has bad religion.
I am not smart, and it is intelligence based.
Yeah. With a 4 in religion. You just know it's a natural way of responding to things. If it would have been a wild animal, it would have checked if it's like a predator or if it's anything dangerous. If it was a human, it would have reacted differently. It would have like looked, or it's either a human who is trying very, very hard to ignore you, or it's something else.
Okay. Then I'm going to speak out in Primordial, and I'll say, does this language make any sense to you?
The reaction you get is similar. You figure it's more reacting to the sound of a voice than to the words you're saying.
Hmm. Then I'll go ahead and I'll let the group know what I saw and what's going on in common.
So it just appears like a figure in the water.
Yeah, I'd like to move closer, see if I can get a better look.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, the two of you also make perception checks.
Who, me?
Yeah.
15. Come on, better than me.
Oh, hey!
Yay!
With a 15 and 18, as you get closer, Teak notices first that on the other side, about the same distance from the path, there is another similar shape. And as you get closer, you actually start recognizing it. And you notice that in the water, there are bodies. They're not being held by anything, but they're perfectly still afloat in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And behind those bodies, you see the spectral figure standing. You see 4 figures, or 4 bodies, and 4 spectral figures behind it.
Mm-hmm.
On the top left, you see a male elf laying. On the top right, a female human. On the bottom left, a male dragonborn, and on the bottom right, a male dwarf.
Elf, human, dragonborn, dwarf.
And for you, Teak, Ezra, for you notice the figures, but you can make out like what exact shape they have. But Teak, you also recognize the spirits that's standing beside them.
Mm-hmm.
And there you see on the top right, on the top left, a male dragonborn. On the top right, a male dwarf. On the bottom left, a female human, and on the bottom right, a male elf.
Asri sees this?
Teak sees this.
Teak sees this.
Ezra see the figure standing behind them, and sees the bodies drifting, but she doesn't recognize what the figures look like, or what kind of creatures they are.
I get you.
They look like they can hear me, but not like they understand.
And it were the spirits that were responding to Hephe, not the bodies.
The spirits. I'm gonna speak out and maybe in Celestial now. Try my last language, and I'll say, I'm just giving this a shot. Do you understand this one?
I talk back to Heffy in Celestial. Hey, you speak Celestial too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. We've got like a secret language.
Okay, Hephe, make a persuasion
sorry,
check.
not important right now.
Persuasion
And
check. Well, that is different. Persuasion. I'm okay at those. You gonna roll?
Luke is the one person not looking
You are
at
gonna
it, at the
roll.
leg with his crossbow out,
Man,
just like
I
paranoid
like
about
to roll
animals.
9s.
Sorry, what were you saying, Fluke?
I was just saying, Fluke's got his crossbow out, the only one not looking at the lake because he's paranoid about animals now.
That's fair.
Aminals.
Giant familiars, the lot of them.
Hephe, with a 13 in persuasion,
Yeah.
the spirit on the bottom right, which Teak knows to be a male elf, kind of moves, and it almost looks like someone who is like suddenly woken up while they were like very deep asleep. And he looks around, looks at you, and then disappears.
The elf isn't hovering above an elven body, right?
It's like behind a lot behind the body still.
Okay, but it is behind the elven body.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm gonna look down again and be I think your friend disappeared once he heard me. Does anyone else hear me?
Give me 1 second while I'm gonna send something to Gwyn. Just so...
Whispers.
And I'm gonna also
Secrets?
tell you, Gwyn, that I'm gonna delete that after the end of the session. Those messages.
Okay. After the end of the session. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So you're saying screen cap them now?
Sorry, Hephe, what were you saying?
It looks like your friend went away, disappeared when he heard me. Do any of y'all be able to hear me?
Do you say to specific one of them, or...?
No, just kind of like out in general.
Okay. Not make another persuasion check.
Okay.
From this distance, Slump
Yep.
is.
Go
Am I able
gadget,
to see
persuasion.
if spirits look any
There we go.
like the bodies lying in the water? I know it's kind of a stretch because they're lying with their, I assume, with their bellies forward.
I'd actually say that you can tell that they don't.
I don't. Okay. Huh.
With a 13 in persuasion, you are speaking Celestial again, eh?
Correct.
The top left spirit, similarly but much more wildly, also awakens, and not necessarily aggressively, but very intensely starts moving around and starts running to you, and then right as he gets to too close to the bodies, he also disappears.
Can I make any kind of check to figure out what the hell is going on?
And I'll make an arcane check, I'm gonna say.
Oh, I was really hoping it could be religion, so it wasn't negative. Go, gadget! -2!
118. Oh, it was an 18 on the die!
Hooray!
With a 16, you recognize, well, obviously some form of necrotic magic here. But assuming that Teak has shared that the bodies don't match with the spirits.
Yeah.
You figure these are how would I best put this? These were placed here by someone. Either for what purpose you can only guess, but they were placed here by someone and put to sleep. And now that you're awakening them, they aren't real. They are. They actually remind you of the Speak with Dead spell, I should say, as they aren't true spirits of deceased people, but they're more reflections of what the people used to be.
I want to put my foot in the water. My hoof.
Okay, it's cold, and you notice that the water kind of moves around you, and you see this small ripple, but you only kind of see one ripple, and then the water is still again.
I want to go in there and pull a body out, if that's possible.
Okay, which one?
The one that the first first spirit reacted to.
Okay.
The bottom right one, I think it was.
Yeah,
Male elf.
Male
far
dwarf
away are
is the
they?
body you get out.
Huh?
It's a dwarf that you get the body out of the water.
Oh, okay. I want to roll a medicine check on the body to check it out, see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, roll medicine check. Okay. With a 15, it is a little bit hard to check out, as you notice that it has been dead for a while. But yeah, it's a male dwarf. Yeah, I don't think Hephe would know much about it, but you notice some like weird dots around his arms, which to the more city folk gives you a bit of a drug abuse idea. But Hephe, you can tell that he has been dead from some form of died from some form of poison.
Okay, I want to go drag out the other body, which I think was the top right one that the spirit reacted to.
The top left, and that is the elf body.
Okay, I want to go drag that body out
Okay.
and do a medicine check on that one as well.
Okay. You notice.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You notice this one has died a lot shorter ago. A lot shorter. And as you go over it, this one seems to have had a much more violent death, and you realize that though you can't really tell anymore what the thing was that actually killed him, but he wasn't involved in some form of battle where some form of spells and a lot of like claws or swords were being used.
Okay, now I want to go drag out one of the bodies that the spirits haven't left.
Okay.
Does Heffy share this information with the group?
Well, as soon as he's pulling out the bodies, we're all looking at them.
Yeah,
too.
I'm sharing what's going on. You're seeing what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, when he starts talking about this is a battle with spells and stuff, am I in some way able to recognize a spell that might have been used?
Make an arcane check with disadvantage.
Fair enough.
Yep, it's something you're good with.
With a 12. You don't recognize any specific spells, but you realize there's been used some fire magic. At some points you see what's probably force magic, but it could also be just like a really hard stomp from something bludgeoning. And yeah, you also see some signs of necrotic magics being used.
All right.
It doesn't seem to be one particular school of magic, so it might be more than one person or just a more broadly educated person.
Or it could be no. Is there anything like? Do they have any sort of like symbols or anything on their clothing that would like signify where they're from? Any village bannerments? Any like court clothes with an insignia of like a shop they worked at?
You for the clothes themselves, you notice that they are oddly plain, as it were. They seem to have been. You figure actually, especially with the one that died a more violent death, you figure that his clothes has been changed after his death.
Ah.
But as you do go over the elf, make an history check.
Make a history, you said?
Actually, yeah, history. And I actually also say with Hephe, with your 22 medicine, you notice that the elf, though definitely more of a spellcaster than a fighter, he definitely had seen battles before, and that you notice he was not someone that like he was not like a wizard who just spends his time sitting or anything. He had seen multiple battles before.
Okay. I'll let the group know that too.
It is 17 history, and you recognize some of the patterns on his face, which are from a clan, which I don't have the name of ready yet, but that's from the Sleeping Mountains, quite close to a bit further north of the Snoozing Watch. And it is a well-known clan, as they once every, well, for them quite often, but once every 50 years or so, they travel to Iwe for kind of a, how do you say, not really festivities, but kind of show like we're still not hostile, right? We can get along with whoever's the ruler in Iwe at that point.
Gotcha. Let me make sure I understand.
Do you guys think they killed each other?
Oh, Iwe's there right next to the red line on Kingdom of Lavasti.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I see it. Sorry, I had to find out where Iwe was so I get it now. Okay, I see where we're at.
Yeah, I can put it like that. That makes it a little bit easier.
Yes. Sorry, thank you. Find the world. Alrighty. I will share that information, and I'll ask Thargorak, since if he would know anything about. Do you know if the envoys that supposedly going there have made their way there, or was there any sort of interruption?
I don't keep that much tabs on it. I assume that if something had happened, we'd have heard, because that would be important.
Fair enough. My apologies. Thank you.
I'm honestly not really sure when the next one or when the previous one was. So it could be 10 years, could be like right now. Not sure.
Understandable. Okay. Azri will just kind of take a sip of her flask and be like, and mull this over for a minute or three.
Okay. And Hephe, you were grabbing one of the third body out of the water, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you have the top right and the bottom left.
Let's do the bottom left.
Okay. You grab a male dragonborn. It's a green dragonborn that you grab from the water.
Okay.
And as soon as you touch it, the spirit that was standing behind it disappears.
Does it look like it disappeared violently like the other one did? The other two did?
Not necessarily. It just kind of implodes, as it were.
Okay. Do I get any sense of which one was worse? Like, if this is hurting the spirits at all?
So with what you previously found, that they aren't technically spirits but more memories of creatures, they don't really have any feelings or sense of hurt.
Okay, cool. Then I don't feel bad about it at all. I'm just gonna drag the Dragonborn out and do a medicine check.
Okay.
Go. 22.
This seems to be a quite old Dragonborn, similar to the dwarf. Seems to have had a lot of drug abuse in his life, and also has been killed with poison.
Also killed.
And the last one.
Okay. Similarly, the spirit / memory also disappears, and you grab a female human out of the water. With a 16, despite being the youngest because of being a human, but also just in general being still quite young, she seems to have seems to have been like stabbed once and then have died very quickly and suddenly. But you do find like this big gash in her back.
Oh.
What kind of gear is she wearing?
Nothing. They're all wearing kind of rags.
Yeah, their clothes were changed after whatever battle this was.
Hmm.
Well, I would like to start digging a hole to bury them, I guess.
I will actively help you with that.
Okay. So I imagine you go back for that to, like, not go forward.
So we've got a male dwarf that seemed pummeled and like attacked with different kind of magical spells.
That's the elf.
It's elf.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
And the other three seem to be, well, two seem to be killed by poison. One seems to be killed by stab in the back. Dwarf and Dragonborn poisoned. Human stabbed in the back. Elf pummeled to death by magic. But the elf also looks like the one that's capable of doing magic, right?
Yeah, it's technically would be difficult to tell. I'll say with your knowledge of the arcane, this elf seems to have been a magic user when they were alive, but like closer to an eldritch knight than a wizard.
That makes more sense.
Okay.
You know what bothers me is that they're all standing next to a different body. I don't really know what that's about. I thought they might be standing next to the person they've killed, but that doesn't make sense either.
Or the person who killed them.
That could be. But then the dwarf would have killed the elf. Or the elf would have killed the dwarf. And both of them don't really make sense when you look at the wounds that the elf has got.
I think that the three of them killed the elf, and then the human poisoned the two, and then The two betrayed him after he had poisoned them without them realizing he had poisoned them.
I mean, but then who killed them and left them all here?
They would all be dead at that point. But I get your point of who would have redressed the wounds and everything and left them in the water. This theory completely ignores the fact that somebody changed their clothes after they died.
Huh.
That's an important part not to forget.
Mr. DM, do I know anything about the violent nature, the possible violent nature of these walking trees? In my mind, they became ants like instantly.
Yeah, I get that. Make with the previous success, make a nature check with advantage.
There we go.
24, nice.
You remember they seem to slightly territorial.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, and when I say territorial, like you can enter their territory as it were, but you can't change anything or build anything, and they have a quite large part of the forest that they have claimed as theirs, and if you like start building a hut there or anything, then they get violent.
Yeah.
But other than that, they seem to, from what you remember, they're quite calm and don't really bother with most other living beings.
And they also gave us a form of passage when we traversed this lake.
Yeah.
Wanted to traverse this lake.
So
I will say with that what's it called? Bridge that was built seemed very not specifically human, but you wouldn't figure that was made by the Traians.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure, because I was going to look up, that path above us is still leading away, right? It isn't disappearing. Yeah. Okay.
It's going forward over the bridge.
Okay, making sure. Perhaps, because I assume we're still working to get them buried.
At this point, I imagine the Hephe and you are digging, or if someone else is helping, they as well.
What is Decorm doing this whole time? He's a strong boy. He can help us dig.
I'd say actually that both Decorm and Thargrak would be helping with digging.
Thargrak's probably like, if this is something we're gonna do, let's just get it over with.
Yeah, that's he at first would be impatiently waiting and then think, okay, I can make this go faster.
I love it.
But what were you gonna ask the party?
I was originally going to ask to see if once we were done, but then I realized we weren't done yet with the body burying. My apologies. When we were done, I was going to suggest that we get a move on, but that was after we already had the bodies buried.
Okay, yeah. Unless there's more you want to talk about, I imagine you bury the bodies and continue, or whatever you're wanting to do.
We are on our way.
Mm-hmm.
We can go the distance.
Did a good thing, kind of, sort of.
As you continue over the bridge, it goes like just over the kind of almost over the longest part of the lake, you feel like. And I'd like everyone to make another perception check.
All right.
Boy. Perception checks for days when...
Still an advantage, sorry.
This is 16.
Wait, I get to reroll that
22.
because of lucky.
Halfling luck, hooray!
Halfling. Oh my
Oh,
god!
hey,
Every
nice.
single time, I think.
Natural 1 to natural
Nice.
20.
It's happened at least 3 other times, I feel.
If that's not halfling luck, I don't know what is.
Halfling's OP, please nerf.
No. We are on
Okay.
our way.
Oh, that's some good rolls.
My
Everyone
lowest
except for
roll
Teak.
is 19.
No, it's a 16 because
Oh.
it wasn't with advantage. But everyone except for Teak, you notice in the distance, on a place still in the lake, but where the fog is getting a little bit thicker again, a hut standing. And I'll say, Ezra, you notice that from the hut, you notice a fishing line going into the water. And the fishing line seems to be moving a little bit, but you know that the water isn't moving and there aren't any fish in the water, so it seems to be someone is moving the fishing line.
I will tell everyone that. I will tell everyone this, and then I will ask Lord Chonkers to fly up and see if he can see what's going on over there.
Okay. Lord Chonkers sees an very old wood elf sitting on a wooden fishing hut, and he kind of blindly staring ahead of him, or kind of pulling and tugging with his rod.
I will have my hand on Decorum's knee, I guess, because I don't know how fucking tall Decorum is. Because I will have my eyes looking through, assuming this is within the 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Looking through Chonkers, and Chonkers will slowly lower himself down to be in front of the elf's face and just go, Mao.
Which languages do you speak?
I, as Asri, speak Draconic, Halfling, and Common.
And does Lord Chonker speak any languages?
He gets to know one I know, so he knows Common.
Okay. Then the elf, kind of endearingly, how you might react to a pet, reacts in a language you don't understand.
Gotcha.
He kind
so
of
he just
reaches
starts
out
baby
to
talking.
scritch Chonkers behind his chin.
Asri will say out loud, it's just a kind old man. I think he's enjoying petting Chonkers, so there's that. Do we just wish to continue along our way, or?
Well, Lord Chonkers is the cutest, so I understand why he likes it. Let's talk to him.
Okay. Lord Chonkers will maw and hop down to try and trying to gesture for him to see that we're walking his way, so we're not just sneaking up on the guy.
He moves well, not extremely, but he moves very slowly, and first quietly sets his rod away, and then he kind of moves over, and he sees all of you coming, and he moves a little bit further away and throws down this rope ladder that falls in the water so you can get up.
Okay. Hello.
So, question: does anyone speak Elvish? Elven.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Isn't that like Sylvan though?
It uses the same alphabet.
Ah.
It's like French and Dutch.
Yeah.
No, Thargrak also doesn't speak Elven.
I'm assuming Decorum doesn't.
No, I think he only speaks, Draconic Celestial Common.
Oof.
This is gonna be a fun conversation. As you are climbing up, he kind of moves in his hut, and as you're climbing up, he starts setting out these small cups, and you see in the hut, you see this fire with a teapot on it.
Teak, any chance you know comprehend languages?
Nope.
Shit. Hephe?
I'm gonna shake my head no.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Really wishing Evil Wizard Man had that in spellbook.
And have we heard her speak Elven yet? Or Elvish?
I mean, I
Uh,
assume that Asri is assuming it is Elvish because he was speaking a language she doesn't know and he's an elf.
But yeah, Ezra has heard him speak.
Yeah. It's a language I don't know, and he's an elf, so I'm assuming Elfish. Perhaps it's not. Maybe you guys will have better luck.
Well, I'm just gonna try in Sylvan. Hello. We don't know what you're saying. Do you know this one?
He kind of like halts for a moment and kind of like scratches behind his ears, and it's a long time ago in Sylvan.
Hooray!
Woo!
Hello, my name is Hephe, and this one that's on my back is Teak, and the other little one that was talking earlier, that was Asri, and the kobold, that's I don't want to say the wrong name. That's Fluke. Dragonborn, that's Decorum. Cat, that's Lord Chonkers.
Mao.
What's your name?
You can. He's like thinking back to like his his third grade Sylvan classes, and he goes, Aluin, and he like looks confused at himself. Like, is this the right way to say it? But then he just goes with it.
Alright, then I'll say in common to the group. His name is Alwyn.
Effie, can you ask him if he lives here? And why is he fishing?
Alwyn, do you live here?
He kind of looks at the hut, and then he looks back at all of you, and he kind of moves deeper into the hut, and you can see small beds. At least if you follow him, you can see small beds, and you see a small window, and he points through the window like further into the distance.
Gotcha.
So you just stay here then?
Oh wait, Lord Chonkers can see invisible things, right?
Yeah, for 60 feet around him.
Okay, in that case, Lord Chonkers would have noticed that from both of his wrists, there's these chains hanging that they are like long enough that he can move around through the thing quite freely, but he is stuck again on the hut.
Okay,
And-
would we have realized that before we walked over or after? Because that's when I would have told them. Whenever Tronkers realized.
I'll say that Chonkers realizes it now. It's
Okay, cool. Now it's in his view.
Yeah, it is. Like they are also invisible, but even when invisible, they are clearly not. They are kind of spectral.
Gotcha. Okay.
Chains, so they wouldn't be immediately noticeable until they start moving. It's suddenly, wait, what's that? That's there.
I will inform everyone that he's bound here. I think he's got some sort of etheric chains that keep him here.
Alwyn, are you stuck here? Are you chained?
He nods.
Why?
Who did this to him?
He'll say fiends and
What?
And their help.
And their help?
And their help.
What?
All I heard was "and their help." He says "and their help."
Beings and their help, I think.
That's why you're stuck here.
Fiends and the I didn't hear the fiends.
Fiends, and their
Oh,
help.
okay, yeah.
That's what I missed. Okay, we missed fiends. Okay, fiends and their help.
Were you working with the fiends, or were you just a victim?
Is this a cautionary tale or a please help me?
He's in took friends home, placed me here.
Took friends home, placed me here.
Yup.
And he actually starts like in his hoodie. He has a couple of small things, and he gets out a bunch of loose parchments, which some of them Tiki would recognize have some arcane symbols scribbled on them. Though you do, like the best comparison I can give to you give is like this is, you've learned coding from like university and have done it for 10 years, and this is someone's first code that you now see.
Someone's first code.
Yeah, like that's the level of arcane scribing that he's done.
Very elementary.
Okay. When I take a look at the sheets, can I kind of get an understanding of what they say?
They don't necessarily say anything. But you do recognize that there are you recognize a couple of spells. One of them is a divination spell. One of them is a necromantic spell, and one of them is like a transmutation spell.
Okay.
And with the necrotic one in his hand, he points at the water.
There's something in the water?
Lord Chonkers will go up to sniff to see if it's poison.
The water isn't poison.
Okay. That's the only thing that I can do useful right now.
That's fair. I would say you recognize he's pointing vaguely in the direction of where you saw the bodies.
Oh.
I mean, we buried those bodies over there.
He nods.
Were those your friends?
He'll think for a long moment, and then he'll say, memories.
They're the memories of his friends.
I look at the group and say, well, do you think we should help him?
How do we? I mean, I'm okay with helping an elderly old man, but how?
Right?
Yeah. Hephe, do you think you could maybe... I know this is a long shot, but these are looking like some interesting things. Do you think you are Decor... Wait, sorry. Paladins don't require gods. This is 5e. Do you think you could maybe pray to your god, see if it has any ideas of how to free this man? Because I've got nothing. I'm drawing blanks.
I can pick chains all day long, but magic chains are a little different.
Right.
Decky, your weapon is magical now, right?
I
Why don't you
mean,
give it a swing?
My weapon's magical.
That sounds like something Decorm would immediately do, so...
It does.
17
on the
hits.
chains, right? On the chains.
Yeah, on the chains, obviously.
Okay. Thank
Is this
God.
gonna be
He's
some like
reckless,
Gimli
but he's
hitting
not
a
gonna just
ring?
murder someone.
Give me some Gimli hitting the ring shit. He's gonna fly back.
Yeah, with that, actually, he does also need to make a strength saving throw.
Oh my god, I was joking. I was making a joke, Slump. It was a joke.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
no.
didn't go well.
With that, as he smashes in, you hear like his crink of like metal hitting metal, and then you see Decorm's kind of arm fly backwards, and the hammer hits the wall behind him, and Decorm gets knocked on his back.
One chain to rule them all.
Jane's looking all perturbed by that. From the precision of Lord Chunkers.
I mean, yeah.
They've definitely moved, but they don't seem damaged.
Yeah, I imagine that was very much so, like I said, Gimli hitting the ring.
Ali, are you Alwyn, are you cursed?
He just kind of like holds his arms up, now figuring that you know have seen the
chains,
and just kind of rattles them.
So that's a yes, it's a curse. Then I'll look at the group and I'll say, I could remove that curse, but that'll be like my last of my big spells of the day.
What time of day is it right now? Or is it like getting close to long rest time or no?
You had a fight this day, you got lost. It'd be getting fairly late.
I mean, and she's gonna look around kind of looking for the group's consensus. If we want to like camp out near here, it's gotta be safe enough if he's been here, right?
Oh, yeah?
Nothing's outright killed him.
Alwyn, what's with the fishing?
What would he say? He
Just want to make sure that's not nefarious before I set this guy free. Just making sure.
That's
I can't inside shit.
He'll say, old times.
He'll say what?
Old times.
Old
times.
Oh, okay.
All right, so just to be sure, I'll whip out my glasses that look like a bird, and I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
So I reckon, like where the chain should be, there's something lighting up, right?
Yeah, you notice I think it would be transmutation magic that, or maybe, what is it, conjuration? Probably combination of the two.
Okay.
Leading from, it's kind of odd, but it's like the chains are kind of like this physical representation, but he's like bound from everywhere from the hut to him.
Like they're going through walls and stuff, and there's some point that they connect to, and it's like 50, 60 feet radius or some crap, right? And he can just move. It doesn't matter where the chains like go, what wall they go through the bed, but they're still connected to him.
Yeah. And I'd also like you to make a perception check.
Yep. There we go.
Okay. With a 3, that's what you notice.
Typical Teak.
Can I roll an insight on Alwyn, just as like I know he's having difficulties talking, but like any kind of body language or like general sense of what I'm picking up off this guy?
Okay. Yeah, sure. At 27, he seems to be mostly just very happy to have people to talk to after probably a very long time.
Okay. Well, seeing that nobody said no to me removing the cursing, it seems like a generally okay guy.
Yeah, Azra's on the end of like making sure we're okay with us camping here, so you can.
With the remove curse, you touch him on his wrists, I'm gonna say, and the chains fall, and he kind of looks like strange for a moment, and he kind of feels like he himself can't see the thing, so he just feels like this weight suddenly like being lifted, and he kind of like looks strange, and then he kind of gives you this polite bow as you have freed him.
Mhm.
And then he starts looking around and noticing that he doesn't really have anything like of value in this thing. He hands you the parchments.
Alrighty.
I'll just hand it to Teak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in return for the parchment, I'm gonna give him, since I have 2 spare, I'm gonna go ahead and give him, because how far away are we from the nearest city, would you say?
From near city, quite far.
Okay,
A couple
gotcha.
days travel, but you would know that he probably lives somewhere in the forest, not in the city.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give him silver and rations, but I guess what?
He probably would know what silver is, but he probably wouldn't be able to use it in his village anyway.
Gotcha. Then I'll just give him a ration or two and say like, "Hey, here you go." Like get some food.
He actually hands you the rations back, and he just points at the parchments.
She'll give a
He
thumbs
kind
up.
of gives
then.
you an odd smile with it.
Okay.
Hmm.
She'll do a thumbs up then, and because she knows he won't understand any languages.
Can I cast
thing,
mending on his clothes?
Sorry?
Can I cast mending on his clothes?
His clothes are quite well kept. Like he hasn't had that much to do in here, so
Oh, sorry. I was
keeping
confusing it with
his
the-
clothes from that's where the bodies that had the racks on them and everything.
Sorry, yeah.
How dare you get mixed up.
His clothes are definitely like a patchwork,
Mhm.
but he definitely has been taking care of them.
Mhm. All
One
right.
thing Fluke will do, just out of curiosity, not sure what all he might need, but he will offer it. He'll offer him one of his ordinary daggers. He's like, eh.
I think this guy's probably getting overwhelmed by us offering him so much stuff.
He'll take a step back and shake his head.
He'll flip it around, just put it back in his coat, just like, drug.
About this time his tea is ready, so he starts serving that.
I will definitely
I'll
sit
take a
down and have
nice
some tea
sip.
with him.
Yeah.
When I do, I sit down and I have Chonkers smell it real quick to make sure it's not poisoned or like in some way, shape, or form okay for him but bad for us.
It's not poisoned, but there's definitely something going on with it.
Not poison, and that's maybe
Drinking
this
it.
is his shtick. Maybe magic tea is his thing, and so Asri will take a sip of it and start drinking.
As you drink it, you feel full, like you've just had a full meal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good berry tea.
Good berry
And-
tea.
And he says to Hephe, survive. He has like this kind of cheerful, like seeing your reaction to the tea, has this cheerful smile on his face.
Like
Teak
I
drinks
just
it as
smile
well
and
with a
nod
big
back.
I think we freed a druid. Isn't that interesting?
So he doesn't seem hurt. He doesn't seem.
No, he does seem eager to leave, but
he's not being rude
like
to us.
while you're drinking your tea, he is like kind of packing his rod and like the couple of belongings that he has there.
Mhm.
And he because he is just gonna leave while you are still sitting there if you're still drinking tea.
What race was he?
Elf.
Elf?
Wood elf.
I'll look at him and we'll say, do you have friends?
He nods. And he actually, with that, will come upward again, as he was like ready to go down the ladder, but then he comes back.
Do you know of fire spirits south of here?
He nods again.
He is coming soon. Great war is coming. We are trying to stop it.
He'll say, village, empty, mountains safe.
Well, village something, mountain safe.
Village
Oh.
empty.
Village empty, mountain safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, safe. Not safe.
Hephe.
I wasn't gonna call it.
No, I call it.
Is there anything you know that can help fight the fire?
You'll think about that, and he'll say, most hide south they fight.
We should all fight.
He'll
You should
Yeah.
fight.
he'll say, tell village. Elder.
Hold on, there's an elderly than him. Oh Jesus.
No, he said elder.
He is the elder, yeah.
Okay.
You are elder of village?
One of.
I'll point to myself and I'll say,
Have been here long.
I'll point to myself and I'll point at Thagarak and I'll say, we are future leaders of our clans. Our clans plan to fight. Silver Blossom and Thunderlight? Thunderlight? Thunderlight.
Something along those lines, yeah.
If nothing else, tell others.
He nods at that, and give me 1 second. He'll point at the water again, slightly in the direction of where the bodies were, and he'll say, fiends, corpses, warning.
I'll nod and then I'll nod my head and I'll say, what about hags?
You kind of notice him. He registers hags the same as fiends. He's kind of assuming that that's just a synonym, as it were.
Haha, I love it.
And he says, placed bodies, and then he points at himself and he says, placed memories.
Since he seems to be saying fiends and hags are the same thing, then I'll say potion makers.
He kind of just shrugs at that, like, that, like he understands like potion makers, as he knows what a potion is. He knows what someone who makes a potion is.
Okay.
But it doesn't tell him anything.
Okay. Then I'll just nod my head and thank you and safe travels. I hope you fight.
He actually, I don't think he'll respond to that, and he'll just start his way back.
Okay.
Dear DM, while
Yep.
this conversation took place, could I have taken the time to maybe grab some? I reckon he cooked the water for the tea with like a little fire, so there must be some twigs and some charcoal lying
Yep.
around. Could I use those twigs and those charcoal to and maybe tear out like a piece of paper from the book of the magic use we came by before, the necromancer? Start copying the page on blur.
Where are you gonna copy it to?
To the page that I tore from the book,
Okay, sure.
and then hand it to him. And
No, at this point, oh yeah, then that would be like while they are talking that you just come here, have this.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say no, because with because that would be spellbook rules, so that would take a couple of hours to do and a lot of materials to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't work out then. Okay. Too bad.
Okay.
All right, then I'll just smile and wave.
Smile and waves, boys. Smile and wave.
Okay. After you've had your tea and waved him goodbye, you're on your own in the hut. It is fairly empty of anything remotely usable. And that's where I'm going to suggest we have a break.
Alrighty.
Sounds good to me.
Speaking of shining lights, do we have anything that encounter us in the middle of the nights?
Well, you're... because I'm not sure. It sounded like someone was going to say something before I went to break. It's... you're still at the hut. Like the tea at this point, I'll say you've drunk. And the elf has disappeared. What do you do?
Take a long rest at the hut.
I'm gonna have chonkers up for a good chunk of the night to ensure like that there's no magical entities that attack us if we're staying in this hut, or if like anything magical starts to happen, or invisible starts to happen rather, to like, hey, wake the fuck up.
Okay.
And I also, Asri will suggest, what's our sleep order for taking shifts as well?
Well, it's still a little daylight out, right? Or is it no, not at all?
You figure that like in other parts of the forest you would probably have still like an hour or so of daylight left. In here, it's just dark at this point.
Then I want last watch because I don't have dark vision. And I want some sunlight if I can.
I will say that the traveling here, you've noticed that it's basically always dark.
Oh.
It's like really in the let's say 11 to 4 or something like that. It's bright enough that you can still see and everything, but other than that, it is always fairly dark.
The first watch would be the one that you could still see a little bit.
11 to 4, so 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Yeah. And it's definitely past 4 p.m. now.
Yeah.
So that means I would be burning torches.
Well, who all has dark vision? I know
I
Lord
said
Chonkus does.
I've burned 5 torches so far, so no.
Oh,
That's
check
dark
if
vision.
Decorum has. I don't think. Oh, Decorum does have dark vision.
All right. So Decorum on one watch,
And-
Luke on
that's the
another.
wrong
Oh, wait.
one.
I guess I don't have to be burning torches if I have his light thing, his light orb.
And
Big light
Thargrak
orb.
doesn't, I think.
Of the clan Thunderlight.
Yeah, and I don't think he has dark vision.
And
Oh yeah,
Teak
he
has
does. He does have dark vision actually.
Okay, so Fluke, you have dark vision, right?
Oh yes.
Okay, sorry. Duh, you're Cobalt. Duh.
Yeah, I have the best dark vision.
Okay, so
Not
we get
magical.
Fluke on one shift. We get Decorum on one shift, and then we get Thargrak on another, and then Teak, Hephe, and I just assign ourselves as see fit.
I feel like isn't average dark vision 30 feet?
No, 60, I think, right?
60, 120 is to my knowledge.
Yeah, 60 is normal.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe
I've
I just
got
haven't
60
played the
feet of,
creatures with bad dark
vision.
vision because that, it's bad dark
I
vision.
do know
No, they're
Drow
superior.
have better, I think, with 90 or something. I'm not sure. I'm just
I
saying
know
things.
warlocks have their anti-magical,
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So, Fluke first, then Decorum, then Thargrak. Anyone joining them, or is the rest just sleeping?
I will take last watch.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so
So
that's
3
that's
on the
your
last
dark
one?
vision.
Oh, are there?
There's Thargrak on last watch already.
Yeah, it's I've done, or unless you want to have 4 watches, I have it now at 3.
Teak, why don't you go into the middle watch with me so I have someone with dark vision besides Lord Chunkus?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So we're just not counting Decorum then.
Then Decorum could go with first watch, right? With
Yeah, sir. That's I'll just do. No.
with Fluke. Fluke would be first watch then.
Uh,
We got
now all my.
Fluke and Decorum. Teak and Asri. Hephe and Thar.
I put it in chat.
Oh, I was just writing it down and was about to show it on camera.
Aw.
I don't know if it actually looks good though. Does not look like it. So we're gonna stop it.
What a nice piece of white paper.
I missed it on stream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now I can see.
Quinn, I want to say thank you for always being willing to call me out.
Hashtag Flame Flub.
You're very welcome.
That is a hashtag you can put in the chat.
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
Ah, yeah.
So, with that, Fluke and Decorum, or unless there's anything you want to do before you're going to bed, Fluke and Decorum, make your perception checks. And I would say you can roleplay anything between, but I'm gonna play for Decorum, so.
No.
Yeah,
replay.
that's not gonna make things awkward at all.
Okay, hit a 13 and a 15. The night goes on mostly uneventfully. You see sometimes like an animal coming around, but you do notice that especially the lake itself seems completely lifeless. And you also know that sometimes birds do come kind of close, but they almost always quite quickly avoid it and fly somewhere else.
I'd prefer that over being spied on.
Fair. Who says it can't be both? And unless there's something you want to do during your watch, we'll go to Ezra and Teak.
Fair.
Okay. Azray would ask Teak, Teak, in your pouches, do you happen to have any sort of, and she's like looking over the notes she's taken from that guy's thing, any of this, like a bell or any silver wire by any chance?
Silver wire or a bell? Let me check for you. I don't think so. No, I don't. And I rummage around in my bag a bit, and I'm like, no, I can't find anything like that. Shouldn't be too hard to find when we get back to the village, though.
Okay. I wanted to test out and this alarm spell that I think I might be able to set up for us whenever we're camping overnight. But I need either a bell or some silver wire, and I was hoping maybe, but maybe next time. When we'll have to remember that it's on the shopping list, so to speak.
You know, I'm actually also trying to prepare it in a way, and I found a way to just use some twine and a wooden bell. I'm not sure if I can show you. DM, would something like that be possible? Like a spellcasting focus, so
yeah, for you it would be.
Yeah, I'm not an actual caster. It's just for the feat that I have that I can ritual cast it, so I need the actual silver stuff.
Yeah. Also, Teak has a backstory of using wood for magic and everything. So
gotcha.
So I start explaining to you how I use twine and the wood, and it goes very deep and it's very abstract.
That's amazing, and you're amazing. I don't think that's quite how I'm going to be able to do this, though.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, yeah, well, then we just need to maybe wait a bit until, and maybe we can find it somewhere, but otherwise it wouldn't be, I think, too big of a job in a town or a city.
I hope silver wire is not that hard to find. And she will smile, and during this time she will have had Lord Chonkers kind of scanning and to make sure on our ship that nothing's going on.
Then, both make perception checks, and for I'll say for Ezra with advantage since Lord Chonkers is doing his thing.
Woo. Bap. Not needed, but I'll take it.
Nice. My roll 20 has got some delay.
I love when the internet likes to be mean like that.
Yeah. Let's just try again. In just a short while, you're gonna have 5 of my perception.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yay.
Oh wait, there's the first one.
I think it's gonna stay.
It's a 4.
Yeah, that's kind of like Teak.
Teak is.
I talked about magic.
Yeah, you talked about magic, and Teak spends the rest of the watch explaining things and demonstrating things.
Also, while I am talking about this, in my hands I've got a little piece of a stick. I'm stripping it of its bark, and I'm making it round, and I'm doing the same thing with the second one. Making some holes in the end, and then you see me take off my boots, and I start connecting them to my boots, the little sticks and stuff. So I'm properly distracted.
Asri will be partially taking loose notes, but mostly keeping an eye out.
Yep.
She's mostly just taking notes about the things that you do across the night to share stories in the morning. Like, this is adorable. She's taking the boots off and everything.
I'll look at Lord Chunks real quick. Smell, blah blah blah. Okay. During the night, as Lord Chunks is flying around a bit, he doesn't necessarily see anything, but suddenly, like the smell surrounding the path gets a lot like mustier, and it suddenly, like while he's flying around, it suddenly feels like the air around him hasn't moved in a long time.
Is this still during Teak and Asri's watch?
Yeah.
He will position himself directly above Asri, put all 4 paws out like a cat that's being held, like by his midsection, and dead drop on right above onto her shoulders, and just go Mao. And she's like, okay. There's something musty in the air.
And as you go to look at it, Ezra, you see through the monocle in the distance a creature, like very slowly walking, and as you're looking at it, it kind of stops and starts like turning in your direction.
Do we wake the rest?
I ready my long sword,
I start waking up the rest.
and I say, get the others.
I start waking up the rest. Hephe, Luke, Decorm.
Like pulling the dagger out from under his pillow. Whoa, what?
Bad news. I'm outside.
And as you look again, the creature's gone.
I would like to try and stealth, and I'm gonna give a berth of like 30 feet of where we're at to kind of like purvey and survey this where this is to see if I can try to locate it while stealthing though. So do I first roll that?
Yeah, first roll stealth.
I don't know why it was an advantage, but so it's a 22.
Okay. With a 22, you're as well hidden as you can because the hut you're in is like a little bit above the water line, and then there's this small area you can move on. So I imagine you don't drop into the water.
No, do not have swim speed.
So you move as stealthily as you can, though, like unless you like if you get out of the hut, you're gonna be easily spotted.
Gotcha.
Like there's no real hiding there at that point.
Okay, my apologies.
No,
In
no,
that case,
that's
I don't
fine,
know why I
but-
apologize. That's just a standard phrase for me. Just a standard phrase for me. It's like saying "ah" anymore. I would like to then see if I can locate it. Is that, since I'm trying to make sure I'm not moving too much, going to be a disadvantage or anything, or?
I wouldn't say disadvantage.
Okay.
No. Just a higher DC. Sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to make sure before I roll that I know how to make sure I do the roll right.
That's fair. With an 18 perception, you kind of give a look at Lord Chonkers, who, however he does it, confirms that the smell is still like stale. And as you like, you don't have really a place to get any visual, so you start more listening to. Can you hear anything? And you hear under the cabin, you hear like this splash, splash, splash noise.
Right. Oh. I look back to the other group. I put my finger to my lips to like sing like, but without making the shush sound. And I then point down. Also, Quinn, that is the cutest goddamn picture I ever did see.
I know, right? That's all the time. I'm checking if there's something cool I can do. This wouldn't be considered 3 foot or dirt, right? Of wood, right?
No, it's less than 3 feet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast Detect Magic one more time. See if I can see something below.
You sense magic this way. Yeah, so I think invisibility's transmutation, I think. Enchantment, maybe? No.
I think, well, let's go see the spell.
That's fair.
How is invisibility not a ritual spell?
Yes, I think they're more thinking about like the
Illusion.
Bilbo and the Lord of the Rings.
And it's useful to be able to cast it in a pinch, I'd say.
Well, I get both. You could do. I mean, there are certain ones you can cast in pinch that aren't just, you know.
Mm.
But
It's illusion, of course.
illusion.
I completely forgot about that school's existence.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's because it's so underplayed in 5e.
Yes, sir.
As the illusion wizard at one point, yes.
Sorry. Okay. Teak, you notice, I'd say about at the same time as it's happening, you notice a female form standing below you, busy casting a spell. And I'd like Teak to make a wisdom saving throw.
No.
Is this a magic effect?
This is a magic effect.
Alright, and I've got advantage.
Okay.
There we go.
Ah. Ooh.
18,
Thank goodness
you
for that.
just make it.
Ooh.
And you feel something trying to... it doesn't feel like it's trying to enter your mind, but more trying to pull something out of your mind.
Okay.
But you manage to resist it.
Okay. I whisper, there's a magic user under this floor.
And as you look back underneath, the figure is gone again.
We need to get out of this building, I think. Hephe, Hephe, Decorm, Fluke, do you think we stay or do we go? Hunker down or get out of here?
I mean, can we wait till I get my armor on?
That's 10 minutes.
I grab a couple of marbles and I charge them up.
I get Rice sword ready.
Okay.
Because I just now realized, doesn't Decorm have to also put his armor on?
Yep, I'd say that he would be working on that right now.
Yeah,
And
they're
What
so
kind
is
of armor
Stargrad.
is he wearing?
I think they're both, at least Decorm is
I'm wearing
heavy.
10. Yeah, mine's heavy as well, so that's 10 minutes. Yeah.
And I think Thargreg is even also wearing heavy.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh no,
DM?
Thargreg is half medium.
So that's 5 minutes.
So
What's it,
DM,
Quinn?
I expect my detect magic is still up.
Yep.
Can I see where the creature went to?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Assuming Lord Chonkers is also doing that.
Yeah, actually.
Yep.
If possible. That would be the 5 is Lord Chonkers. I just
So,
didn't.
yeah. With the 14, you are fairly sure that she isn't anywhere within 30 feet of where you are.
Mm-hmm.
With the 19, about, I want to say, around 50 feet to the back of the hut. The land stands again and starts again, and there is a figure standing there.
Mo! Behind that building. 50 feet back. They move fucking quick. Holy shit.
Assuming it's teleporting.
Which is terrifying.
Is she telling? Is like the cat telling us about her standing there now?
Ezra did.
Yeah,
That's
the
what it
cat
is.
told Asri, and Asri told everyone else.
So can I see the woman standing there now?
Do you have range?
If you
It's
look,
50 feet back. You only have 30, right?
Yeah, if you look over the hut, you can see like the location, but you can't see anyone standing there.
Okay.
This is just out of your range for the detect magic.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, I'm gonna throw off the raven. That's
Actually,
like one of.
give me 1 second as I roll.
Dark vision? You'll be able to see her, right? See it?
She's invisible.
Oh, never mind.
It's a great thing about chonkers. It's the whole reason I went for that cat over the one that could lift me and give me fly.
Teak, as you get to the windows and look for her, Lord Chonkers notices that she starts moving backwards, like deeper into the forest.
Okay.
Mo.
The direction where she was spotted, I'll throw the raven and it flies towards her, but I need to make it with disadvantage, I guess.
Yeah, let me look at the spell real quick. You say it's chill touch, right?
Yeah, it's a ranged attack. Ranged spell attack.
Yes, skeletal hand, the space of creature. Oh, interesting. You don't need to see this one. Okay, then yeah, you can met with disadvantage.
Alright.
All right, come on.
Again.
Good rolls.
Oof. 16 to hit.
With a 16, the raven comes close. I'd say that this happens just at the edge of where Lord Chonkers can still see it, but it manages to kind of like almost unnaturally like move out of its way and then move further.
Okay.
Ball. You would have had it, but it's weird dodging.
Okay, well, now that it's backed off, I think the big question is, I mean, are we going to be able to find someplace safer from it than here?
I don't think we will. In all honesty, the bigger question
I don't
is,
like it, but I think might just have to hope we've scared it off and stay alert as we continue through the night.
yes, Hephe, what do you think?
I mean, as long as it don't come back.
Decorm?
I mean, even if it do, I think we can beat it, maybe.
I think we can beat it. The question is, do we actually get the chance to beat it, or does it just come pester us until we're exhausted tomorrow? And that was the point I was going to ask, is do we even want to try to go back to the long rest, or just continue a march?
I mean, I need to get my spells back.
Right. Don't want to die.
I kind of need to get some more sleep as well.
All right. My bad. It was a thought.
Before I go back to bed, I am going to stealth out there and start putting caltrops around the house.
Do you mean on the deck or in the water?
On the deck.
Okay.
I didn't know how much. Was she walking on water as far as we could tell, or what?
You've kind of only seen her like standing still.
When she's moving,
Really
we can't
only
actually
when
see
she
her.
was dodging the raven and moving away from you saw her move, which was technically also only Lord Chonkers who saw that. And then she moved very unnaturally.
As far as my allies were reporting, was she ever physically that close to the house?
She was just underneath us.
She was in the water the whole time.
She was in front of us, then underneath us, and then behind us. Is the way I understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then she retreated into the forest behind us. That's why I don't necessarily know if we want to go after her, because this feels like she could be trying to. Sorry, this feels like she could be trying to bait us at best if we go in that direction. And I don't plan on dying tonight. But then again, I guess I never plan on
But
dying.
if she's teleporting anyway, man, I mean, it would alert us, I suppose, but we really need like some kind of alarm spell.
You know, if you had any silver on you, I could make that happen. Like silver string or a silver bell.
Let's say I've got 3 coins.
DM.
If you have a forge, you could do that.
Damn it.
Or maybe, you know what, I would allow with Tinkerer's tools or Jeweler's tools someone to...
I've got Tinkerer's tools.
It would take
I've got a
little
forgery
bit, though.
kit. I know that's not the same thing at all,
No,
but
it
you could forge.
It sounds
okay.
the same.
It's exactly. No,
but
if you got
yeah, with a Tinkerer's kit, it would take like an hour or so, but you could make some silver string from a couple of coins.
Okay.
How far into our watch were we, and how much longer was there left?
I'd
Or I guess
say
do we have that much long time in ours left?
I'd say you'd have about that time left. Yeah, a bit longer, I think, than the hour.
Fantastic.
Luke will toss 3 silver coins at them and go back to bed.
Hephe will go back to sleep as well and stop putting on his armor and be like, oh, and start taking it off.
I'm sorry, Hephe, but invisible things attacked us. We didn't know. Fair enough.
I think we'll start using our Tinkerer's tools to transform the silver coins into wire.
Okay.
And
At
then
the same time, she's like softly blabbing like,
Oh wow. That I didn't think about using this way of the coins. That's kind of interesting, and that Luke did think about it. He's actually kind of smart, isn't he?
I think everyone in this group is smart in one way or another, despite what I say. And if you ever tell Hephe or Decorm I said that about them, I will deny it. All right? The fact
yeah,
is,
okay, of course, but why would you deny it? It's a nice thing to say about him.
Because right now with Hephe, the joke of him being a simpleton is kind of the joke of the group. I think without him, then he's the one who says it. So if I say he's stupid, then he'll actually think we think that in some way, shape, or form. And if I say he's smart, then he'll be like, he might get on a cloud 9 and get a big ego about it. Although I don't think that's Hephe. Maybe I'm just being overthinking about it.
That never happened before.
I think you would like it.
and then in the meantime, I'm like,
And
got like
definitely
my smallest scraper, and I'm like try to make like a very fine line out of the silver coins to and fro. Do I need to roll anything for this, or?
Yeah, make a Tinkerer's check with your intelligence.
Intelligence, okay.
So it will be a d20, and if you're proficient, you can also add that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Soft 20.
With 20, you can actually finish it within the hour still.
Okay.
As you make your wire.
Mhm.
But while you're doing that, Ezra, make another perception check with advantage, Teak with disadvantage, as you're at this point literally working on things.
Yep.
Nice.
Boy.
You know, your disadvantage didn't matter.
No.
Your advantage didn't
Hold on,
matter.
is that the third time you've gotten a 3 on perception in a row?
Yep. Peak
Oh, wow.
throws very low on perception in general. Don't know what it's
I mean,
about.
That fits. Maybe you've
Yeah,
made it
general
fit. That could also be the
easily
option, but Ezra, about 20 minutes to half an hour in, Lord Shonkers notices the smell again.
I ready my crossbow, and I wait for him to basically give me a direction. That way, because I'm not even gonna bother waking the others up. At this point, I'm just gonna try and kill her myself, or get a couple pot shots in.
Okay.
Or sorry, I said my crossbow. I meant my longbow.
He's pointing in the same direction as where she fled, to the back of the forest. So you could try, because there's a window there, but it isn't very big.
I go up to the window. I put the bow, like the arrow's basically out the window as I pull the drawstring back. Chonkers lowers his head next to mine. I close my eyes and look through his eyes. Can I see her?
You can see her standing there.
I would like to fire my arrow.
Okay, make an attack roll.
I will throw my bird from
Freaking
the touch in the
grudge,
direction
bitch.
where he's shooting it.
Getting ghost ass.
26 will definitely hit. So roll damage. And make a wisdom saving throw.
So I also threw my raven. I also threw my raven again.
Oh, you did?
Oh, okay. Then also make another roll for the raven with disadvantage again.
Yes. Right. 17.
Miss.
With a 17, you just hit, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you just hit.
Oh, the
More
16 missed earlier, not the 19. Oh, my bad.
All right. It's 9
So
necrotic.
she... my apologies. But then you also need to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right, with advantage.
It's
Is it a
advantage,
magical
though.
effect?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so Esri, you, similar to Teak before, you feel something trying to grab something out of your mind, but you manage to resist it. Teak, you're focused more on the raven this time than on the spell, and too late realize that there's a spell also being cast back at you. And give me 1 second to roll.
Man, she could do that twice too. That sucks.
Ooh, I think it's an automatic reaction. I think this is either a species thing or a perma spell, right? Like anytime someone does damage to you, this happens.
I'm not saying if it was a regular reaction, she'd only get one of those a turn.
Yeah. Or it's like I said, or it's like a racial reaction where this happens no matter what when somebody hits this race.
It's closer to Medusa's thing.
Oh. Okay.
You take 6 points of psychic damage, Teak, and you are frightened of the creature.
Oh.
He's already attacking at disadvantage, so.
But now she can't move closer. Not that we were going to. We're not moving from this hut. We're bunkering down for the night.
And with that, it seems to dissipate almost, like it just falls into the ground and disappears.
Okay.
Am I still frightened of it though?
You are, yes, you are still frightened of it, but you don't know where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're just kind of genuinely scared of it.
yeah. Your feathers have been ruffled.
This is what I was afraid of. It's going to try and exhaust us across the night by pinging at us.
But the fact that I succeeded earlier doesn't change anything about that.
Nope.
Okay. Alright guys,
Right
no immunity if you succeeded.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is it's redone. So what the question is at the end is does she get any additional saving throws at end of turns or beginning of turns or anything?
Oh, yeah. Not against the... no, actually, no. Because that's... Yeah, sorry. I modified another ability into this, so...
You're good. That's why I was asking.
So no. You stay afraid for about an hour, which would be, I think, just in time for. Well, it would be just too late actually for you to get a bit of sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that you managed to finish the silver threading as you were still working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With a very high heartbeat.
Yeah.
Actually looking around.
Like where before you were not really paying attention and just like happy working on the thing while Ezra kept watch. It's now like with every little noise you're suddenly like perking up and looking like, is there something there? What's happening?
Dress tinkering.
I would like to... How big is this room, if I may ask?
I'll say about like 10 square feet.
Okay, so yeah, so since it's under the 20 square feet, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 10 minutes before going to bed to cast alarm, and I will set it to be very audible, and I'll tell Teak, I'll say, trust me, if anything gets near us again, this thing will know.
Okay.
So this has I did the full 20 feet around the area, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Am I still in that hour of fear?
Yeah. It's like when you after you've waken up the others and went to bed, it's still about 10 minutes of fear until you finally like have a restful sleep.
Okay. And then I'll say, I'm not sure I want it to get closer again.
That's fair. That's very fair, Teak. That's why, and I pull out my crossbow. That's why we were awake with these and our ranged weapons, because we don't want her getting anywhere near us.
Okay.
She will actually, Asri will cuddle Teak until they both go to sleep. Once the watch is over.
Okay. And then, well, first the other ones, but Teak, make a Constitution saving throw.
What? Is this a magic effect again? Oh, it doesn't go for Constitution, I think.
I was like, what?
Too bad.
Please roll well. No.
The 6 points of psychic damage don't recover. But other than that, you have your you'll have your long rest at the end of this night.
All right. It's something. It's something.
It's a boo-boo. It's not too bad.
Nah.
I mean, that's still one of those moments.
I was at full health before the psychic damage, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Then Hephe and Thargorak, I think,
Yeah.
on the last watch.
Yeah. So once I wake up, are all my spell slots back?
I'd say yes.
Health is back up too. Do I notice that Teak looks damaged?
She's clearly not having a good night's rest, as it were. But psychic damage is very hard to see on someone.
That's fair.
Hephe is not a therapist.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking thematically. I have lesser restoration. I wasn't sure if that would regain that or not. But if I don't even know if she's damaged, then I can't even know if that would work. So I can start to go down that path. Then I guess I'll just. Who woke us up? Was it Teak or was it Asri?
Probably Asri. She would have told Teak to go lay down.
Okay. Anything we should know about as I'm stretching?
I've cast that I don't know if you recall, Fluke, because you were a little tired, gave me the silver coin, or gave Teak the silver coins to make into a silver thread. She did that, and I cast alarm around here. There will be a very loud wee woo sound that comes off if anything gets within 10 feet of our 10 feet room here.
Oh, okay.
Lord Chonkers has been instructed to mow at you if the creature is here, or if you pull out food, he will mow twice. But fair warning, that's his rule, not mine.
Pull out food real quick.
Mow! And he's like on your shoulder.
I'll give him one of my rations. And I'll
Freaking majestic Garfield, motherfucker.
start putting on my armor.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll look at Thargorak and I'll say, so, what do you think it is?
He'll think about it for a moment as I roll I think arcane check for him. Which he isn't terrible at. Especially not when he rolls a 17.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's the hags who are trying to mess with us before we get too close. I'm not sure if it's a sign that they're afraid of us or a sign that they're messing with us.
I take it that means we're close.
He nods.
How far away do you think we are? How many more days?
He kind of shrugs and he says, well, the environment around here has been, let's call it unique. So it could be any number of days. With how close they got here, assuming that they don't want to travel too far away from their own base of operations, can be more than a day.
Well, I for one can't wait for the sun to rise so we can go kill those hags.
He nods at that.
On that note,
Yeah, finish putting on my armor and perception checks.
Yep.
Lord Chonkers would like to assist our good friend Hephe.
Okay, so roll again to see if you what you roll with that. Okay, so that's
Hey, it did help.
20.
Hooray!
And what does Thargrek also rolls pretty well. At one point in the night, for Lord Chonkers and Flip, you can play Lord Chonkers in this situation. Starts smelling that same must again, but a lot less strong this time. Like it's further away.
Lord Chonkers will maul and say it with almost like a questioning inflection for the first time ever.
I'll incite the cat.
Sure, roll
Many
insight.
have tried, few have succeeded with cat. Oh my god, cat whisper Rogan.
I assume you would say it would be him like he would be like hopped up on a post looking in all directions, like mowing to himself like I'm going to find you. Like a cat hunting its prey, like he's lowering his head now and like lifting the tail, like
He's doing the butt wiggle.
yeah, like
I-
looking.
I think it might be coming close,
But he can't find where it is.
but he don't know where it is. I'll let Thargarok know that.
Thargarok will nod at that and grab his axe, and he will start looking out of the window, and then I would imagine that you've told them that it's invisible, that the creature's invisible and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
assume they know of all of
he'll-
Chonker's abilities. at
But we
this
do
point
have
that
the
she knows of.
monocle to see into the ethereal plane.
So he'll realize, oh wait, it's invisible, so maybe
Maybe not so much.
maybe not, and then he'll sit back and he just kind of positions himself in such a way that if something were to get through the door, he would be like immediately able to do something about it, but otherwise still fairly hidden from the outside view.
Okay.
Anything you want to be doing?
No, I think I'll just be like, just kind of waiting for the sun to rise so we can get started with the day to go save the Viscount, save the day, save my god, and save my clan, and save the world, stop the fire,
Save the Viscount, save the world.
save the cheerleader.
Stop. Save the Viscount, save the world. There's no
Okay.
cheerleaders.
And with that, the rest of your watch goes by calmly, though a bit on edge. And all of you wake up. As you assume the sun is rising, but it takes a while before you see it.
Teak, you will be awoken by, and Teak and Asri would be awoken by Lord Chonkers flopping on the two of them and just going, Mao.
Mm.
And like putting his paw towards his mouth and going, Mao.
He kind of jumps awake. Bit on edge. Breathing a bit louder. And then she sees the cat on top of her and she's like, "Oh, hi, kitty." And she pets like his head.
Mao. Asri wakes up like Toph in the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah, I imagined.
Just like instant, I'm just like,
All right, coffee time.
Is there anything you want to talk about before you're on your way or do anything?
As soon as the rest of the party's up, I'm gonna stand outside the hut and start like prancing, circling around the hut, waiting for everybody to get ready so we can start going.
Okay.
I will collect the silver and I will give I will point to it and will give Fluke a thumbs up and say it worked, and then I will give him 3 silver coins.
oh, well, I was just donating to the cause, but thanks. I mean, I'm not a spellcaster, but I know some. You know, I get good ideas every now and again. But he'll still pocket them. Get dressed just like ready to kill some hags, because that was annoying.
That was absolutely annoying. We are ready to kill these guys. These hags need to die.
Don't like ghost bitches. Whatever that was.
Well, all right. On that note, tally ho, bitches.
When you say the word die, you see Teak flinch a bit. And she walks next to you after that.
Okay. And with that, what's your marching order as you travel onward?
I'll be in the front, plus whoever wants to ride on my back, preferably somebody with dark vision, which most small people I think do.
Nope, that'd be only Teak.
Well, then Teak, because I don't have dark vision. I want somebody that can see with me.
I will be either right behind Hephe or next to Hephe, while she's on top. And I was like, well, at the very least, Hephe can.
Sorry, you're roboting a lot for me, Flip.
Am I? Oh shit.
It's on you, I think.
Yeah, it could be, but
We might
Do it
have
again.
talked about this before, but can't we both sit on Hefe's back?
No, it's not. I'm not big enough to be able to fit 2 small creatures. Now, unless Slumperd wants to let me get like some special riding, like mount later, like a saddle, not a mount, but like a saddle later.
But yeah, you would have to get that.
Yeah,
That's
I don't have that
okay.
natively.
Okay.
So yeah, but she will walk with her. She'll pull her quarterstaff off of her back and walk with it, kind of like every so often bumping Teak with it, just like poke, just like in the shoulder, poke.
Okay. So Hephe and Teak are up front.
Yeah.
Then
I guess so.
Asri, because she's poking.
Yep.
What's the rest of the marching order?
Maybe have Thargarak in the back because he's a tanky boy and likes to charge.
By the way, Teak kind of giggles whenever Esri does this.
Huzzah, the distraction's working then.
Decorum
I
is
think
also with Thargarak.
I imagine Thargarak more in the middle, since he can charge to both sides then quickly,
Okay.
and have Decorm at the back.
Okay, and then where's Fluke?
Luke's fine just about anywhere.
In the middle or in the back?
Let's throw him in the back so we can disappear easier.
Okay.
Literally throw him, like, hey, pick him up.
I do so.
I was joking. I was even in flub voice.
I do so.
Hephe listens to me. That means I must be the pool of health.
No. You're a different kind of pool.
Is it a cesspool?
No.
I am thrown and I land rather gracefully.
Hooray! Luke, don't you know what you should be, Womp?
You're like pool billiard.
Oh,
Billiard
God.
pool?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Billiards.
Like the cool kind.
It's not the first time I've been tossed.
You know,
Would be the last.
Shorty Squad.
Look, treasure hunters, after a successful raid or job or whatever you want to call it, will often drink a lot and things happen.
Hey, hold on. So you even admit you're raiding something, and so like, I'm just asking a quick question. Where does it cut off from an archaeological standpoint between tomb raid? Like, where does it become grave robbing to like tomb raiding and an archaeological dig, or are these just literal synonyms, and we've made ourselves more comfortable with one versus the other? From your opinion.
Once the generation has abandoned their ancestral home, it's pretty much up for grabs.
Oh, so it's completely if it's abandoned by. Okay.
I mean, maybe it's more like if the civilization's still around.
And so you have to wait for the civilization to know for a full generation after the civilization. By that logic, correct?
I don't know. I was just thinking.
I know that's how conversations work.
I mean, I know there's a certain metric I was shown that, like, has how many generations, how likely they're to claim the treasure that has been hunted, and also how likely you're able to be prosecuted, but usually two or three generations, you're golden. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna go through the effort to get it back, especially if it's covered in, like, skeletons, zombies, ghosts, or whatever else decides to hunker down in places like that.
This has all been while walking, so I
Yeah.
have no other words for this conversation now. Asri's just nodding.
In fact, Fluke is going to go into great detail of the various, like, the various tactics of acquiring, basically stealing legally, and he will use Inspiring Leader. So let's get some temp hit points up in this bitch.
I still haven't erased the 8 from last time you gave me. Wait.
Well,
Does-
don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does that count? Did she have the 8 points against the psychic damage?
No.
Okay.
Well, she still has the temporary hit points, but the damage
bypassed
went
them.
straight to her normal health.
Straight to her
Okay.
Not to
brain.
mention she had slept since then, which I think would have negated them. Plus, I wasn't sure if she had any during that fight. I lost all mine.
I as well.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay,
as
so I don't
you're
have to.
as Fluke is talking and you're traveling further, you travel in. The forest has already been quite thick, but at this point, it's kind of getting almost difficult to find a path between the various trees. If you didn't have a path to follow, this would have taken you hours probably to get through this bit. And as you do so, I'd like Hephe and Teak to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Oof.
Dexterity saving throw.
But not Asri. Yay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Also,
for-
ooh.
This is getting curiouser and curiouser.
Curious, sir.
Both of you, as you're traveling, suddenly like a branch pokes out and just snipes the monocles of your face and like disappear up into the trees.
Could I use my reaction to use shield to prevent this from happening?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Do I see this happen?
Yes, you see kind of like them suddenly like grabbing at their face, and then you hear some branches move,
Yeah.
and you see them without their monocles.
Can I see where the monocle went?
It's up in the tree somewhere.
If you're looking up, the
Mhm.
branch is gone.
the
And
fuck?
as you're looking up, Esray and Fluke also make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no! Wait.
You
Yes.
can re-roll it. You With your
Wait,
fucking
does it work on saving throws?
I'm
not sure, but-
Oh, is it not?
It's
Saving throw.
I don't
Ability
know.
roll or saving
Okay.
throw?
Okay. Okay, for the both of you, you know what I'm gonna say with the original natural one, Ezra, you just kind of get smacked in the face by a tree, by one of the branches. Not hard enough to do any damage or anything, but it kind of just moves against your face and then upwards.
Does it take the monocle?
No.
Okay, cool. I just get smacked in the face. I'm like Shorty in Scary Movie 2.
And Fluke, you now put on alert. You see the also one coming for you, and then manage to dodge it.
Swords out,
And
just like
Sword
fuckers.
All right, it's time to do some trimming.
with that, it's also Decorum's and Thargrak's turn to roll dexterity saving throws.
Can I cut their branches? Because fuck these things.
Thargrak rolls a natural 1, and he can't re-roll it.
No.
And Decorum passes.
Yay.
So Decorum managed to dodge it. Thargrak also lost his monocle. And you all hear a voice in Sylvan
Okay.
Don't speak that.
Me neither.
saying, "You should go back. If you go too much further, you can't return anymore."
I mean, who are you?
Asri will say out loud in Draconic, I don't know what you said, but fuck you, I won't do what you told me.
I didn't understand it either, but did I recognize the voice?
No.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine.
Because I thought
I
we
mean,
went to Azra even
That
while he's
means
holding out his
it
sword.
can't
It's like,
be the
come on.
fisherman dude.
No, it's not. Sorry, what did you say again, Hephe? Because you spoke Sylvan, right? Or
I
spoke
did.
Sylvan back,
I
right?
spoke Sylvan back, and I said, who are you? I think is what I asked.
It's
Yeah.
quiet for a moment, and you hear the voice again, and it says, you can still talk and think for yourself, so you shouldn't follow it. The elves called me Elysian. I'm not sure what it means.
Okay, and why'd you smack the monocles off our face?
Because they are dangerous, and people will walk right into my old home and will get killed there when they wear the monocles.
Wait, your old home is where the hags are?
Yes, hags. That's what the elves call them.
Oh yeah, we're here to save the Viscount who they stole and to get rid of those hags. So we know what we're doing. Can you give us the monocles back,
What's that?
please?
What does the Viscount look like?
He looks like a green dragonborn.
What's a dragonborn?
Point at Decorum. Like him, but green.
And as you pointed at Decorum, like two of the trees like move aside, and beyond that you see a slightly smaller but still very large tree standing with its bark on its main stem has like kind of looks like there's a face in it, though it doesn't move when it's talking. And it has these large stumps for legs and a couple of branches for arms. And it looks at Decorum and says, I've seen them carrying a couple of bodies similar to those. So it's probably too late. You should probably still go back.
I mean, it's too late for that. We need to stop them. We need to convince the humans that war is coming and the fire spirits are coming, and we need to stop them. So would you mind, please? I've asked nicely. Would you please give us back our monocles?
Make a persuasion check with advantage, I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Well, we
Okay.
have no idea what this conversation
Yeah,
is
no.
about.
Asri's ready to trim. She's letting Hephe do his talking thing because this has worked out in the past. But she's on the same
Hey.
page as Fluke. We're ready to trim some trees.
With a 21, he will say, well, you do seem a lot more fire resistant. And he gives you back all 3 of the ones he took.
On the bright side, 2 of the ones they took were not cursed.
That's true.
I say we give one of the cursed ones back to Teak, since we actually now know she gets advantage on that. And, of course we can slap her out of it, but, he also doesn't seem like a very good liar.
I thank you for giving me the monocles back. Now you said that this was your old home. Can you tell us what's going on about that?
Well, a little bit ago, these hags came and they came crawling from under, and they started burning anything, so we had to flee. And since then, the ground's been rotting and nothing's been growing. But the 3 of us have made sure that they can't expand much more.
Wait, there are others of you?
There's 2
3.
others, but they're not here. They are on other places of watch.
Oh,
I guess I would.
do you think they could help us kill the hags?
No, they have a lot of traps that shoot fire. We don't like fire.
Well,
That's why I
okay.
said you're fire
I can
resistant.
detect traps. It's actually a thing that I can do.
But you see, I'm very big.
Also, it's a
I
good thing
can
because I
stand at
actually
a
can't find
distance
traps. I don't have that prepared.
Looked at his own spells. Oh wait, I lied. I'm sorry. We'll help give
that
you a
is the
different set
thing
today.
I can do, just not right now.
He'll say, if you find some rocks, I can stand at a distance and throw those.
That
I'll look around.
we can
for
magic rocks.
Yeah, we like magic little
Guys,
rocks.
Big
are there any
rocks.
rocks around? I'll say out in common.
Quinn realized something.
What? What did Quinn realize?
Well, Teak didn't understand a word of what was just happening, so I don't know.
What?
Huh?
Oh, Quinn realized something, but
Yeah,
Teak
so-
didn't understand anything was being said.
So,
Ah.
I'm gonna say out in common. Guys, are there any rocks around? These guys, he's willing to help us throw rocks at hags.
Bludgeoning damage is nice. I won't lie to you.
The rocks around? I'm gonna start looking around for rocks. Perception
What?
check.
What size of rocks?
The big. Well, the bigger
big.
the harder they land, right? Make survival checks if you're trying to find large rocks.
Survival check. Good. I'm better at that than perception.
I
Can someone
have a
help me
3.
so I have advantage?
I will help you.
Hooray!
I'm looking around and it's pointing over there, over there.
22. Didn't need the help, but I'll take it.
I see that.
With the 22, there are actually a couple of larger rocks around.
I'll point up the rocks.
As you're getting actually quite close to a kind of cliffside of one of the mountains.
I'll start pushing the rocks towards the tree.
Yes, this'll do, and he'll start like rolling them in direction. So, are you just going now, or?
I mean, we don't know where they are. I mean, can you tell us or lead us or like give us any help? Like advice?
Yes, and he starts. He leaves the rocks at this point, and he just starts walking in a direction.
I'll follow
It's
him.
not necessarily the same route as that the path is taken, but you've also already noticed that the path doesn't always like follow a straight line or the necessarily quickest line. And
As we're following him, I'll fill in the group what happened.
Okay.
And are we just going to? What about the? We got to put the monocles back on. So
I'll put on a curse monocle because I have good wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teak has advantage.
The
so.
other two, yeah, I was gonna say it's the only curse model. The other two didn't have curses.
I think
Oh,
I'm
that still
fine.
passes. Yeah, you're fine.
Cool.
Okay, good. Don't have to slap a bitch.
Once
Would have
we
been
know
a
that
very
Hephe still
strange
Hephe,
conversation.
I will sheathe my sword.
Okay, so Teak just the monocle slapped off her face by a tree.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
way, yeah, I got bitch slapped in the face by a tree. It didn't even
Yeah,
bother
and then
taking
she
my
saw-
monocle.
And then she saw Heffy just like talking to nothing in a language she didn't understand, and suddenly she's got her monocle back, and it's like, okay.
No,
well,
in
Never follow a
between, a
tree.
large walking tree appeared who gave the monocles back to
Oh,
Hephe.
really?
Yeah, and I
I
rolled a
also-
rock to it too.
I
Okay.
just realized it volunteered to throw rocks, and I'm like, God, we're Lord of the Ringing this bitch right now.
We are. We literally are. We got our tree ant. We've got our halflings and our small ones, and like it's great. I don't know.
Now we just need to find our Isenguards.
Will you hear the cry of Mordor?
Do you hear the cry? Do you hear the roar of the dogs of war?
Will you heed the call of Gondor?
The beacon of Gondor is lit. And Rohan shall answer.
So he starts leading you towards a small like waterfall that's coming from the cliffside, and he points at the small river that comes from it, and that there leads to a slightly bigger river, and that river separates our grove from the rest of the forest. But right now it's all dead, and there's this. They used our corpses to make all kinds of like weird constructions. So they made that from our. They put that in there as a sign of dominance, I think.
I don't like that at all.
Neither do I.
Is he still translating this to common?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'll say, that doesn't sound like the hags at all. They were just protecting their own area, right?
I mean, it sounds like the hags to me. But I also am willing to admit that I have a negative opinion of them.
What made them so evil? I mean, they weren't like the best of people, but they were just protecting their own area, right? That's why we actually wanted to talk to them first, right?
I mean,
we're
that's why
ignoring the
people want to.
possibility that everyone's a bad guy in the scenario.
Yes.
The hags are over encroaching and being amoral, while the society is also over encroaching and being not always a good guy. Everyone might suck here.
No, the hags, they appeared, took our things, and then started.
That's the thing is that the hags appeared out of nowhere one day, as far as like almost every single story we've heard. Just saying.
You know, that makes me realize that also makes them hypocrites for screwing with the Viscount.
It really
that just
does.
makes them worse.
I mean, do you know why the hags are taking the Viscount?
What's a Viscount?
Uh,
Oh, the green one you're talking
yeah,
about.
the Green Dragonborn. He's a title. He's important in society.
Ah.
He's like a leader. But like not the main leader, just the middle leader.
So like me.
Yes?
Let's go with that.
Yes.
I'm also in the middle of the rankings.
Are you considered a leader?
There's only 3 of us. There's not much to lead.
Okay, so then not like him then at all.
Wow. You could have just said yes.
So he's the middle leader, so he isn't like Lurling. alpha either.
don't really get it.
I don't
But-
either.
Well, they've been moving bodies around the whole last couple of days.
Why?
I don't know. They've put some in the water, and then they moved back, and then last night one of them also moved again, and they've stalled them out all weirdly.
Mm. Do you have any suggestions on like what we can do to draw them out or make them mad or stop whatever they're doing?
I mean, it looks like they're preparing something. I wouldn't know what.
Yeah, we want to
but
stop that.
They've put 4 bodies in front of their house. Or wait, he wouldn't say house. He would say in front of their shrine. And well, after that they've just been waiting, kind of. Like the 3 of them are how would he say it? Are moving in and out of here as they wish, but the one that came later is waiting here.
Oh, okay. Is there any way that we could maybe get the 3 of them before we have to go get that last one?
I don't know where they're going. And I don't know if I can throw rocks that far.
I'll look at the rest of the group.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting us to have the 3 people on our side for this fight anyways, so if even just one of them is more than enough in my opinion.
All right, then. How much further until the house? Shrine?
Oh, and he starts walking again, and you see like a couple of like similar formed streams come together to form a small river. And they kind of circle around, and what you see is a small, like the other side of the small river. There is a small house built on it from similar wood as the bridge you saw before. And in front of it, there is a small open space where you see 4 bodies laying. And with that, I'm gonna end the session.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That way we can pick up with Decorm actually here
Yeah.
next session.
I like it.